Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
What is up, you guys? Whether or not this is the moment you were waiting for, the moment's here. Greatest Showman came out about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago. December 8th, 2017 was its release date. I just, it was Christmas and all the holidays, anyways. Wanted to give people time to go and see the movie, and now that it's a month out, they have had the time to see the movie. So their reaction, as well as my own reaction, who I just saw the movie last week, and I'm going to see it again tonight, I get to see how people reacted and how people think of it, and put my own thoughts on that. So first off, we're going to address the elephant in the room, not in the movie, because there are elephants, spoilers. But the elephant in the room, and that was P.T. Barnum. And I haven't done any research on it. I'm not going to, because I don't want it to affect my own thoughts on the movie. However, I do know from what I've heard that he exploits people in his shows, and it's been shown throughout the years, and it's been proven. But I believe that that is not the main point of this movie. I think P.T. Barnum was just a way for it to be kind of thrown into the mainstream audience so that people will actually go and see this movie. I mean, you do have star power like Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, Michelle Williams, but all it is a channel for people to go see it, because people know who P.T. Barnum is from the Barnum and Bailey Circus. I've seen those shows. I'd like to see how it started, and it's interesting to think that it actually started back in like the 1850s, 1860s. That's mind-blowing to me. It's like these shows have been going on for over 100 years, and it's crazy that they've evolved into something that we still have enjoyed to this day, and now we get to see it in, obviously it's not music or anything that's kind of related to that time other than the setting and how they handle things, but that's okay. I mean, you have to contemporize things, right? Otherwise people aren't going to see your movie. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the director, Michael Gracie. I have not heard of this director, but before the movie started there was a little snippet of Hugh Jackman with Michael Gracie talking about how this movie needs to be seen in theaters, which I cannot agree more with. But when I saw him, I was like, I have no idea who that guy is. But I looked him up, and he actually doesn't have any other directorial credentials. But it's really cool because he's helming a big motion picture that is produced by Fox, and it's made over $200 million worldwide. So, obviously people are going to be looking at him now. I do believe he had help with the music as well, because we had the same music composers from La La Land composed this music as well, which is really cool, and I love the music in La La Land, and it translates here as well. It's just really cool to see someone who's making their directorial debut in this movie and see it do as well as it did. Now moving forward, I said that the composers had started the music before La La Land, and if I didn't, they did. So they did that music before they even started working on La La Land. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. I know he's been in works with this movie, or at least trying to get it started, since 2008, 2009. And seeing him now progress forward and become this character, it translates so well. And it's so amazing how he can be someone like Logan, or the character from Les Mis, and then come to this show and bring so much energy and passion into this project. You can tell he really enjoyed and wanted to be this person. Now, continuing on with the character aspect of the movie, Hugh Jackman's the main character. It's about P.T. Barnum, and that's who Hugh Jackman is playing. However, as I was saying, of the person of P.T. Barnum being a channel for this movie to be thrown into, that I believe the same thing for the characters. And I say that because through Hugh Jackman, through P.T. Barnum, we're getting characters that Zac Efron's playing, that Zendaya's playing, that all of the acts in the circus, all those characters, they have their own specific role in the movie, and they all contribute to the progression and the growth that happens inside of the movie as well. Not only for P.T. Barnum, but for everybody else that is involved as well. Okay, so I've already talked a lot about P.T. Barnum as a character, but next I'm going to go into a couple of the other characters and how they develop the plot in their own sense. So first off, I'm going to start off with Zac Efron's character as Philip Carlyle. And we first see him as someone who is a member of the society that we have witnessed the entire movie, but then we see him connect with Hugh Jackman's character and become someone completely different. And it's interesting to see, because as he's becoming someone completely different, he is having internal conflicts that we are witnessing on the screen as well. It's just a very poetic way to kind of portray the way a person can change just by the experience that they have been a part of. Every movie has a constant, and the constant in this movie, who's also the last character I'm going to be talking about, is played by Paul Sparks, and his character's name is James Gordon Bennett. And Bennett is the critic that keeps on attacking P.T. Barnum. We see him in every performance that P.T. Barnum puts on. And by the end of the movie, he kind of comes back to P.T. Barnum and helps him realize that you were doing this all wrong. You're doing this for all the wrong reasons. And it's so cool to see that someone is there to tell him that. And it's almost like he has like a guardian angel. And like I said, we have someone that's always a constant. He's always there. He's always the reason P.T. Barnum, Hugh Jackman, is doing what he's doing. But Hugh Jackman never realizes it until the very end of the movie when Bennett comes up and tells him, hey, you need to watch what you're doing and do something different because it's not working. Now, it's ironic because I talk about the development of the plot, and a lot of critics believe that the story or the movie didn't have a main plot or really a story that really developed. And while I can see where they're coming from, I think that the movie developed in its own way, and they were able to tell the story that they wanted to produce. They, as in Hugh Jackman, Michael Gracie, everybody that was involved in this project. And I think it was portrayed very well. You have all the characters from the circus itself and how they're all different from the life and the society around them, and how they are ridiculed and discriminated against. And we still see that today with maybe not extremities like a bearded woman, but we have different races, different genders. We're still having problems with all that kind of discrimination in the world today. And it's just really cool to see that someone like Hugh Jackman or P.T. Barnum can bring them together and create a family and treat them like equals, because that's what we should be doing. And I'm not saying that P.T. Barnum in this movie is a savior. I believe that he was a method and this a way for people to come together, and it worked until he himself wanted to kind of disband and do his own thing, and then it becomes a scumbag, and then we talk about that later. But the rest of the movie, I think that it was just a very poetic way to kind of bring everybody back together. Now to talk about how one of the biggest successes of this movie, the music. The music was phenomenal from the beginning to the end. There's a very different variety of music in this movie, and every song has its own meaning. Every song is portrayed a different way for a different person. I think every song can hit a different person in a different way. But we're just getting so many messages from each song. Even if it could be the same message, just portrayed in a different way, that's perfectly fine, because obviously we're a world of diversity, and anybody who watches this movie can go and see that this movie has a different part for me, a different part for you. It can be for anybody, and it's just a very cool way to see through music and through acts of performance that it doesn't matter who you are, we're all the same person inside. Anyways, the message throughout the movie to me stood out a lot, and I can see it portrayed, and to me, as if I may not feel some of the messages, I do connect with the people that do, and I think that they're going to connect with this movie as well. The story, while some people say it's not there, I think it was a way for Michael Gracie and the people involved to tell the story that they wanted to tell. And I think that's okay, because we're in a society where we're going to the movies to have fun and be entertained. I just believe that this movie was a lot of fun, and I think that it deserves a better rating by critics, but I'm glad that we have an audience that is also able to score movies, and people like me and people like you that just like the movie and just go see it to have fun, because that's what we're here for. That's what it's for. Anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think of The Greatest Showman. Have you seen it? Do you want to see it? Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys keep on listening to the soundtrack, I'm right there with you, so don't worry about it. Can bug the crap out of all your friends. Anyways, guys, until next time, I'm going to see you later on the other side.